What's up, people? I'm Shaggy, the opinionated hippie, continuing my deep dive into Deep Purple's live catalog. We are a lot of albums into this list. This is our 11th. Couple releases that this concert fell under. King Biscuit Flower Hour presents Deep Purple in concert / Live in Long Beach 1976. Those are both titles under which this show from February 27th, 1976 has been released. I'm going to talk about this show, then I'm going to rank it among the other 10 I've already done. And there might be weird cuts. I am sneezing like crazy this afternoon, so if it cuts weird, it's because I had to pause and sneeze. But this is a complete show, I believe, from all the set lists I've seen. Early 76, this is from the Mark II lineup. The Mark IV lineup, not the Mark II lineup, the Mark IV lineup. This is the one in which Ian the singer is gone. Roger the bass player is gone. Richie the guitar player is gone. In their place, we have Coverdale, David. We have Hughes, Glenn on bass and vocals. And we have a kid named Tommy Bolin, who unfortunately would not be around for very long. Rest in peace, sir, on guitar. I love this release. Hands down, this is going to get ranked probably higher than, who knows. I don't know if other people love this release. I love it. It's going to be ranked higher than some bona fide Deep Purple live classics because I love this groove. This is a completely different incarnation of Deep Purple. This is the funk dance groove. Glenn Hughes on bass. Let's bring some Glenn Hughes on bass energy. Glenn Hughes on bass means it's funkier, it's dancier, it's got a little more of a groove. David Coverdale on vocals. I think we're all pretty familiar with Coverdale. No Ian in my book. I think the stuff on here works except when they're doing Ian original songs. That's when, at least vocally, I'm like, okay, I'm into the song. I'm like, oh, that's right, Ian's not here. You get used to it. What I really, really like about this is the new stuff. The Mark IV era lineup stuff. The stuff from Come Taste the Band is fantastic. The jams are fantastic. Tommy Bolin's role as a guitar player, while they do give him this way too long 10-minute segment to just kind of be on his own and solo, the band does come in at one point and accompany him. He's not a Blackmore. I don't think he's like, maybe he wanted that spot. Maybe they gave him that spot because Blackmore did those things. Maybe they wanted to elevate him to guitar god status. But he works so well when he's just working within the confines of this band. When he's like doing rhythm guitar, when he's dropping a solo during the solo spots. His playing is fantastic. He is an amazing guitar player. But at this point, this really seems like a Glenn Hughes driven band, and everybody's more than happy to go in that funky direction. And it sounds fantastic, and the grooves are great. And it's really overindulgent at times, but I enjoy it. 2 discs, so I think we get the complete show from the 27th, plus there's 3 bonus tracks, including one song that isn't from the show, on the original show. Opens up with Burn. Awesome Burn. Blackmore era, but Coverdale, Hughes on vocals, so it works. I like Bolin. I like Bolin solo. I like the energy. I think it works. The band sounds like they're having a good time. Solid opener still. That follows up with Lady Luck, which ironically, because I'm pretty sure they didn't start sounding like this until the album that came out in 77. This sounds like Rainbow. Lady Luck sounds like a Rainbow song, but not like a debut album Rainbow song, but on Rising. I guess Rising was 76. So yeah, but Rising did not come out till May 76. But it kind of sounds like maybe a deep shorter cut on Rising or even the album that followed. It sounds like Rainbow. And I hype that up because Bolin is in the band because Blackmore left to start Rainbow. Lady Luck to me sounds like a Rainbow song, which is good. I like Rainbow, but it reminds me of Rainbow. Really tasty doses of Bolin in here. Some really nice playing. Really solid start. Good 1-2 punch. Old Blackmore song, a newer Bolin song, and then we get 14 minutes of Getting Tighter. The really dancey, funky, I think it's the third track on Come Taste the Band. Maybe the highlight on that album. Well, there's some other good stuff on there. The jam in this is just absolutely epic. They start off with like a nice, slow, atmospheric, sort of proggy build. Then they go into that awesome opening guitar riff. They play the song pretty much proper. And then the thing just kind of devolves into this awesome, just funk jam. Doesn't really seem like anybody's like we're soloing, like we're around somebody who's soloing as much as everybody's just riding this funk groove. Like Glenn Hughes's bass seems to be in charge, but Bolin's doing some interesting rhythm stuff, and then Lord's got some cool stuff, and Hughes and Coverdale kind of improvising lyrics. It's dancey, it's psych, it's hard rock, it's all of these things at the same time. It sounds like a jam Ian would never have participated in. Maybe Ian would have, but maybe Blackmore would not have. It doesn't seem like it's a Glover groove. It seems unique to this band, and it's pretty awesome. It's just really, really cool. Super funky, super drawn out. Just the band just jamming and having a good time. Like, I don't know a lot of these shows from this era, but it seems like every Getting Tighter probably just has a slightly different vibe, just because this does just feel like they're just like, hey, let's just play until we are tired of playing. It's pretty good. It's pretty exhilarating. I think it's absolutely awesome. Love Child follows that, another Coverdale Bolin song. This is your hard rock leaning into a riff type song that has this awesome middle funky section with this great Lord synth sound on there, really funky drums, whole different vibe in the middle with this almost like crazy synth jam. Another just absolutely fantastic song. The 1-2 punch, actually the whole run so far is absolutely fantastic. Old Burn, Lady Luck, Little Rainbow, poppy rock type stuff, Getting Tighter, massive jam, Love Child, hard rock with some funk in it. Great 4-song opening. Then we go into Smoke on the Water. 2 complaints. Once the vocals start, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Ian's not here. I'll say this about the vocals. They got three of the 4 E's, and I'm going to regret saying this. There's energy whenever they sing Smoke on the Water or they sing Highway Star. Anytime they're singing anything that Ian sang, there's energy, there's enthusiasm, there's effort. There's just no E in. So they got 3 of the 4 E's. They're trying. They're having a good time. It's just obvious they're different vocalists. This Smoke on the Water, Bolin sounds great. The playing sounds great. Lord's closing solo sounds great. They kind of break it down and do a little Georgia on My Mind kind of jam tease at the end, which I'm like, okay, whatever. Kind of fun. Not really sure why. Then it builds in like a screaming finale. Then we get a Lazy for the Ages. Absolutely amazing Lazy. Full Lazy with your Lord intro that gets noisy, that gets chaotic, that kind of cools down. I think he's got like this, almost sounds like he's playing loops at some point and gets kind of funky. We drop into the da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Great. We get this, we get a great Lazy, a high energy, everybody jamming, everybody going hard Lazy. But then after like we run through Lazy proper, we just start jamming and Bolin just starts going off. It gets super funky. Bolin quotes some other song at some point. We get an absolutely sick, Lazy inspired jam that again is this band just locking in on all cylinders. I don't know if that's what you lock in on, but they're just like, it sounds like they're having fun. Sounds like they're having a really good time. Sounds really amazing. Then we get a drum solo. And then after the drum solo, which is pretty long, that goes into the homeward strut. It goes into Bolin's homeward strut. It's called The Grind on the disc. Absolutely amazing instrumental, funky, dancey, riffy, just made for this band. A song that just seems to fit this band absolutely perfectly. Sort of a very awesome coda to the Lazy, high energy Lazy Attack, the drum solo sort of rest period, respite that we kind of get, and then we finish off with The Grind. Excellent coda to this like 20 plus minutes of music. Amazing. Hughes's bass is amazing. The song is amazing. It's a great funky jam. Absolutely wonderful. The Grind. Homeward strut. They're strutting. That's the first disc. those 7 songs. The first disc is the stronger of the 2 discs, I would argue. Fantastic. Pretty much my only complaint would be the drum solo, but I've been pretty vocal about that. Disc 2 opens up with This Time Around into, I don't have the, what is the, Ode to G, O-W-E-D. Ode to G, that instrumental. It's like a 7.5-minute song. Half of it's like this really drawn out, dramatic, vocal kind of, I don't know what it is, maybe ballady, bluesy type thing, but almost like sparse arrangement. Very like, I don't know how to describe it, but very moody and atmospheric and not driving or hard rock at all. And then it goes into this awesome instrumental jam at the end that is just amazing. It's just like riff driven hard rock with all these like compositional elements and great playing. It's got a very prog element to it. Very proggy. Even more proggy than say maybe what normally Deep Purple would do. This band's kind of dipping their toes. This version of Deep Purple dipping their toes in other areas. After This Time Around, we get the Tommy Bolin guitar solo, which is just kind of 10 minutes of him playing around. Around 7, we get a more cohesive jam with the band. Don't think it's that interesting. Tommy's not a bad player at all. I like his style. I like his sort of melodic approach to a lot of things. I like the way he's just got good energy. I don't know if this is meant for him. I think it works better when he's feeding off other people. There's really like, he takes a lot of time to do very little, I think, in the first 7 minutes. This is normally not my thing. There are very few guitar players that, for me, I just want to hear them play guitar with nobody else. Zappa, Blackmore, 2 of them I think are fascinating. But it's interesting, but I don't think it's needed. And then that just goes hard into Stormbringer. This band is up for the Stormbringer. They're jamming the Stormbringer. We get an awesome Stormbringer. The song ends. They keep jamming, kind of like what they would do with Space Truckin'. This is kind of the Space Truckin' thing where we're just going to keep going. Nobody's really soloing, but everybody's playing hard. And I think Hughes is like improvising lyrics and getting like a coming your way call and response thing going. It's an epic set ending jam. It stretches Stormbringer out to like a good close to 9 minutes. Then for the encore, we get a Highway Star, which is essentially the first 2 verse courses or whatever those are. We get a solo from Bolin. Then I think we get another, I think after the solo, we just kind of wrap up the song and we go into like a reprise jam where they're just kind of jamming it out before they go back into Highway Star at the end. Pretty interesting. They play something. Oh yeah, they go into a Not Fade Away during the middle part of this jam. So after they play the song proper, a little shortened version with a solo, they do a Not Fade Away jam and then they reprise Highway Star at the end. Pretty interesting. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. When Ian isn't singing, I'm like, okay, Ian's not singing. It's a shortened version of the song. Bolin's solo is good. Don't think it's as good as Blackmore's, but it's fun. I think the Not Fade Away thing is okay. And that's the show. It's an absolutely strong show. The first disc is just out of this world. Second disc, I think, is just a little bit weaker. Just because, I don't know, it's almost like just the song choices maybe, or maybe the funk jams, or maybe they're stretching out at the end of the songs. It's just the jams are not as inspired as they were in the first half. But I still really, really enjoy it. There are some bonus tracks that seem to be associated with every release. There are 3 more songs from 76, another Smoke on the Water, Going Down, cover of the Don Nick song, which if you've heard if you hear the song, you're going to go, oh, I know that song. The Alabama State Troopers cover. I think they started doing it when Blackmore was with the band in the Coverdale Blackmore era, or maybe as far back as the Ian era. But definitely covered it in Blackmore. They're still doing it here. Really nice, meaty Lord solo in this. And then they have another Highway Star, which again has another one of those sort of reprise jams at the end. One of these songs has a, where is it? And I know I wrote it down, and now I can't remember where it is. One of these songs, I think Glenn oh yeah, during the Stormbringer, the epic Stormbringer finale, Hughes, I think it's Hughes, I don't think it's Coverdale, Improvises a "Thank you for letting me be with you" Sly inspired sing along type jam in the little funk element, which I thought was pretty cool. Get some Sly in there. But yeah, I love this. I love the show. I love this release. I love this energy. There is a timeline where BOLIN survives and sticks with this band, and they maybe tighten up and become even more inspired and get some more songs under their belt. And I think this is good stuff. Like that first disc alone is worth it, even if you, yeah, I really like it. Where would I rank it among the other ones? Yeah, I'm not ranking these by what I would recommend is the best. This is my favorite. I have it at 3. I have it above Made in Japan. And the reason I have it above Made in Japan is because both In Concert and Live in Stockholm 70 and Scandinavian Nights both exist. And those, for me, kind of are better. I mean, I have them ranked higher than Made in Japan. But those, in a way, fill in the gaps that or take the place of some of Made in Japan's tracks. Some of them, not all of them. I like Made in Japan. They're all fantastic. But just because of that first CD on this, just because of the funk energy and the dance energy and the different vibe, I want to listen to that a little more often than I listen to Made in Japan, at least at this point in my life. So I'm putting it at number 3, possibly a contentious number 3, but that's what I'm going at. All right, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this album, Deep Purple, Tommy Bolin. Glenn Hughes is a bass player, is a funkmeister, Coverdale, all those things. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share, comment. And if I think I already said that. Peace. Talk to you later.